Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're doing a really targeted look at one of those gadgets that just floods your social media feeds, especially around the holidays. You've probably seen it. It's the Besyner USB electric knife sharpener.
Oh, yeah. That one's everywhere.
It is. And, okay, let's just unpack the claims for a second. We've got a $50 device here.
$50.
And it's making some, truly astounding promises. It says it'll restore factory sharp edges in 3 seconds.
3 seconds, right.
It guarantees professional-grade results with what they call Japanese tungsten carbide technology. And somehow all of this happens with zero learning curve, powered just by a USB port.
From the same port you charge your phone with.
Exactly. I have to be honest, when I first saw the professional chef performance from my laptop's USB port, my skepticism it went through the roof. That's a huge claim for such a tiny power source.
It is. And that gap between the promise and the actual physics is exactly why we had to do this deep dive. Our mission today is to get past all the viral marketing, all the hype, and really scrutinize the actual test results, the very opaque business structure, and just the financial reality of this little device.
So can aggressive marketing really beat the laws of physics? Or are consumers just buying into a very, very expensive illusion?
Yeah, we need to see how something that costs less than a decent lunch to make ends up being sold for $50 with what turns out to be a really critical flaw.
All right, let's start where we always do. Let's follow the money, because that usually paints the clearest picture. When you see these incredible claims on a, surprisingly cheap-looking gadget, you have to ask, who's actually selling this? What's their background? What did our sources find?
Well, what's really revealing here is the clear drop shipping pattern. We found the parent company. It operates under the name Confident Plains, Inc. Now, they are registered in Wyoming, which is a very common tactic for setting up corporate anonymity here in the U.S.
Wait, what? Wyoming specifically? Is that a red flag on its own?
It's not always a red flag, no, but for this kind of business pattern, it's a huge detail. Wyoming is often chosen because it offers really high levels of privacy.
I see.
They don't require the company to publicly list its officers or managers. And in this case, their stated address is just a registered agent service.
So a professional mailbox.
It's essentially a professional mailbox. It's not a warehouse, not a factory, not even an office where any kind of engineering is happening.
So if I buy this sharpener and I have a problem with it, I'm sending my complaint to some proxy legal mailbox in Wyoming, not a real fulfillment center.
Precisely.
That explains a lot about the customer service, or the lack of it.
It really does.
Yeah.
And what's more, the Besyner brand itself is what you'd call a classic brand salad. They don't specialize in sharpening.
Oh.
Our sources show they sell this. Just baffling array of totally unrelated products, everything from mini space heaters to electric nail tools. All of them follow the exact same model. High markup, super aggressive marketing. They're marketing experts, not engineering experts.
And that's such a critical dynamic for you, the listener, to understand. They position this thing as premium tech, Japanese tungsten carbide, restaurant-level performance, but it's all coming from a business that just sells, everything to everyone.
Exactly.
So let's get to the dollars and cents. What is the real cost to make this supposedly premium product?
This is where it gets, genuinely staggering. Our investigation pinpointed this exact sharpener.
The very same one.
We're talking identical design, same USB cord, same plastic body, same grinding slots.
Yeah.
Available on global wholesale sites like AliExpress.
And the price?
For just $8 to $10 wholesale.
$8 to $10. So that's the actual production cost for this high-tech kitchen miracle.
That's the real cost. Besyner then takes that $8 or $10 item, marks it up by an incredible 400%, and packages it as premium tech.
Especially during those holiday rushes.
Exactly. Black Friday, holiday shopping, they sell it for $50. So you're essentially paying $40 in marketing fees, viral video production, and, for them to maintain that opaque corporate structure, all for a gadget that costs less to make than a craft cocktail.
That is just corporate audacity at its finest. It's hard to wrap your head around that level of markup without any corresponding increase in quality.
Well, that's the thing. There isn't one.
Which I suspect is where we go next. We know the financial side is all smoke and mirrors, but, let's give them the benefit of the doubt for a moment.
Does the technology they talk about, the tungsten carbide, does it actually work?
This is where the marketing spin meets the hard reality of engineering. And, well, the results are not kind.
Independent reviewers found a critical limitation right away. And it's not a flaw in manufacturing. It's a flaw in the entire design philosophy. The USB power source is simply abandoning.
Yeah.
It's just not sufficient.
Explain that for us. Why is the USB port the Achilles heel here?
Well, think about what a kitchen knife is made of. Especially, a good German or Japanese chef's knife. It's hard steel.
Right.
To sharpen steel properly, you need a lot of torque. You need sustained power to grind away the metal and, reshape that edge profile. A USB port, which is designed to, charge small batteries or power a keyboard, it provides minimal current. It's built for convenience, not heavy-duty work.
So that lack of power means the motor just can't turn the grinding wheel with enough force when it actually meets the resistance of a steel blade.
Exactly. As soon as you put a kitchen knife in there, the motor either stalls or it slows way, way down. So instead of properly grinding the metal to form a new sharp edge, it drags the blade across the abrasive. And the immediate result is that the knife edge might look kind of polished, it might look smooth, but it is demonstrably not any sharper. It's a visual trick.
That's a key detail. It looks better, but it performs the same or even worse. What were some of the specific real-world examples of failure that the testers reported?
It was just consistently disappointing on kitchen knives. Testers put the knives through all the standard tests, the paper test, cutting rope, and the one everyone knows, the squishy tomato test.
The ultimate test.
And in all cases, the sharpeners just gave poor results. The knives would fold the paper instead of slicing it. And when they tried to cut a soft vegetable like a tomato, the blades would just drag through or, mash the insides. There was no meaningful improvement at all.
So it's a total failure of the core product claim. You buy a knife sharpener to cut tomatoes better, and it fails that one fundamental test.
It failed completely on its main use case. But, and this is interesting, there was a fascinating contradiction that the sources noted. It gives you a more nuanced perspective. It actually did manage to sharpen something.
Right, because it wasn't a total paperweight.
No. It worked surprisingly well on two very specific things: scissors and small pen knives.
Why them?
Because those tools use much thinner steel. They have a smaller surface area, which means they need way less power and torque to actually affect the edge. So what you have is an adequate, if vastly overpriced, mini tool sharpener.
But it's marketed deceptively as a heavy-duty kitchen solution.
Precisely.
That is a crucial distinction. The company isn't lying that it sharpens something. They're just lying about what it sharpens effectively. Which leads us perfectly to their biggest marketing claim, the 3-second sharpening.
Oh, yes. That claim is the absolute cornerstone of their viral marketing. And our sources found it relies heavily on, deceptive demonstration techniques.
How so?
If you watch those videos really closely, the results look instantaneous. They're effortless, perfect every time. But the methods they use include things like pre-sharpening the knives right before they film. So the sharpener is just doing a quick touch-up on an already perfect edge. Or, even more common, they just edit multiple long passes into one seamless 3-second clip.
So they're literally cheating the clock to create this illusion of speed. A buyer gets it home, tries it on their own dull knife, and realizes it takes dozens of passes.
Dozens of agonizing passes, yeah. And even then, the results are marginal. Real users reported that if they even tried to get a decent edge, it took countless attempts with very minimal improvement. It just doesn't justify the effort, let alone the price.
And it's not just that it's ineffective. The sources also mentioned operational risks during these long sessions.
Yes, another issue that comes from using cheap, low-cost components under that kind of strain. The device reportedly overheats.
That doesn't sound good.
No. I mean, if you're running an $8 motor continuously, trying to grind thick steel, it just wasn't built for that kind of stress. It generates excess heat, which is absolutely a safety concern.
So when we stack all this up, the performance failure, the opaque corporate structure, that 400% markup, the deceptive marketing, it really elevates this beyond just a bad product. It becomes a conversation about consumer safety and risk.
It really does.
Did any third parties look at this company from a consumer protection angle? I know the source mentioned a scam detector trust score.
They did, and the result is, frankly, alarming. The Besyner entity, Confident Plains, Inc., was given a scam detector trust score of 23 out of 100.
23 out of 100. That sounds like a score you get when you're actively trying to fail. What does a score that low even mean for a listener who might have bought this?
That score puts the company deep in the highly suspicious and unsafe category. It's more than just selling a bad product. This kind of high-risk rating is often linked to potential phishing and spamming patterns.
Oh, wow.
So for you, the listener, it means when you type your credit card and personal info into their site, you're dealing with an entity that shows almost zero investment in protecting you.
And the opaque structure makes it impossible to chase them down.
Exactly. Legal recourse is basically impossible. And the website itself only uses a basic, low-grade SSL certificate. They are prioritizing fast profit over any kind of long-term security or ethical business practice.
That just completely changes the stakes. This isn't just about whether your knife is sharp anymore. It's about whether you trust this operation with your personal data.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's wrap up with some context. For someone who's serious about their knives, their kitchen investment, what does actual effective sharpening technology look like as a contrast to this thing?
The difference is night and day. And it really highlights why the USB sharpener was doomed from the start. If you look at high-quality, professional-grade electric sharpeners, something like the Chef's Choice Trizer XV, which we use as a benchmark.
They cost a lot more, right?
They do. They cost more, often $150 to $250.
Yeah.
But they are built around the physics required for the job.
So what are the key mechanical differences?
Well, first, they use dedicated AC power. They plug into the wall. That ensures continuous high-torque motor power. Second, they use multi-stage sharpening. The Trizer, for instance, uses diamond abrasives, which are way better than cheap tungsten carbide for edge retention. And the angles are precisely engineered.
And the motors are better, I assume?
Much better. They have high RPM motors that are specifically tuned to remove steel efficiently without damaging the temper of the blade.
So basically, one is a real tool and the other is a toy.
In short, yes. The professional option is an investment in real engineering that's designed to solve a technical problem. The Besyner is a cheap toy designed to solve a marketing problem.
All right, let's bring it all home. Give our listener the final verdict on the Besyner USB sharpener.
The final verdict is pretty conclusive. The Besyner USB sharpener completely fails at its core advertised purpose. It cannot sharpen kitchen knives because of that fundamental, insurmountable USB power limitation. It's only adequate for maybe small scissors or a penknife.
So the crucial takeaway for you, the listener, is really simple here. You are paying a $50 premium price for what is factually an $8 wholesale gadget that can't do the job.
Right.
If you expect to restore your expensive chef's knives like the ads promise, you are just buying into aggressive marketing hype that both physics and independent objective testing flat out contradict.
The essential thing to see here is the pattern.
Yeah.
You're not investing in new technology. You are directly funding the ad budget and opaque corporate structure of a drop-shipping operation that puts fast sales over customer satisfaction or even your basic data security.
And that leads us to our final provocative thought. We've just focused on this one product, this $8 sharpener, marketed globally with a 400% markup. This really suggests a massive and I think growing gap between real engineering innovation and these sophisticated, almost algorithmic marketing schemes.
They're designed to exploit consumer convenience and trust.
Exactly. So for you, the consumer, the critical question isn't just, is this gadget any good? But it's much bigger. It's how many other common everyday products I see on my social media feed are hiding a massive markup and a fundamental design flaw that physics itself contradicts.
It's about applying that critical thinking to everything you buy.
Keep questioning everything. We'll see you on the next deep dive.